channel.
And we are live. Thank you for joining us. If you are, we are here to answer your questions. John does have a face, we promise.
Yeah.
That's John Tillman, the man behind all of the amazing cinematography that we have inside our courses. That's Matt Danskin. If you don't know Matt Danskin, you probably should if you're in this industry. Matt Danskin has been training for restoration referral system, people how to get referrals from agents for a very long time, but you're also a big part of. You probably should if you're in this industry. Matt Danskin has been training for. Yeah, we totally heard all that.
Yeah, no, we're good now.
Great media presence you have.
I didn't know my iPad was had volume on it, so oops.
Yeah. Well, these are my partners for the Building Experts Institute. Do you want to give a little background about yourself, John?
Yeah. So if you've seen Restoration Referral System and the revamp that we did about a year and a half ago, that was me working with Matt to create kind of a masterclass style online training. In the past, I've worked with people like Jerry Rice for his energy drink company, Goat Fuel, that's now nationwide. So I've been doing video and audio for probably 8 years, and now we're here. Now we're building something special.
Yeah, Matt, tell the audience about you.
Sure. So I've been teaching other roofing and restoration contractors about referral relationships with insurance agents for the last 3.5 years. I started off very heavily, just kind of one-to-one, working with every single client, saying the same things over and over and over again, and realized that having an online course, having content recorded was going to really help serve my clients better, as well as just free me up, so I wasn't just constantly regurgitating the same information. So I went and did that really, really awfully my first time through, and realized that I wanted the quality of the production to be on the same level with the quality of the information. And so that's where through a couple of steps, a couple of missteps sometimes, finally ended up connecting with John, and it's been awesome that we've been able to bring that level of production to information that's really necessary and really helpful, but not always fun to watch.
Right. Yeah. I've definitely struggled with that kind of a thing for a lot of the content that I put out, because if I allow too much of the humor in, it almost feels like it takes away from the product. But if you don't allow any of it in, then no one pays attention, and no one even cares. It's boring, because we're talking about friggin' insurance a lot of times. I don't know if you guys know this. Insurance is boring. It's really boring. So, my name's Matt Mulholland. I'm known for the Listen to This Bull show, the show where we talk about BS in the insurance world. But I'm also been an educator with the founded and was the dean of the National Claims Institute for a number of years. And I am very much enjoying what it is we're putting together with the Building Experts Institute. It seems to be a much better platform for being able to get things out and update them for our students regularly. So, but this is a very broad idea, what it is that we're doing here. So I thought that we might lay this out for you guys, what it is that the Building Experts Institute is. But I want you to know that this is live. If you are watching live, you can ask us questions, and we'd be happy to answer them. So just throw a comment in from wherever it is that you're seeing this, and we will see your comments. We'll be able to pull it on screen and answer it directly. So please ask us whatever. So a little bit of background about the Building Experts Institute, though. We are treating this like a music studio, which I think is the best correlation possible. We are a bunch of music producers, and we're looking for talent talent in our industry that maybe might be an unsung hero, someone that is providing a bunch of information or is expert in the field, and they're so deep involved in that field that they don't have the time to actually create online content or online education. I know that you want to. You've been doing this for so long, you probably would love to share that information, but it's hard for you to find the time to do it, or to put things aside. That's where we can come in. Between Matt and myself, we can help you design a program, an education for what it is that you are expert in, outline it in a way that will have the most impact and actually get the information out. I'll let you know if it is something you need to have a little bit more background in, or if we need to get someone else to do the background of it. And then we will pay to have that produced. We'll bring you into our studios. We will have John with the cameras and the equipment and all the fun stuff, and his team of cinematographers and editors and graphic designers, and we will develop a master class style course around your content. And then Matt will market it and sell it, and then we'll split the money with you. So we're looking to grow this to have not just Matt Mulholland, Matt Danskin content, or John Tillman content. We want this to be very broad and have a lot of people. So,
yeah, and I think there's really kind of two sides to this coin. You kind of touched on the creator side. We are partnering with other creators who are experts in their field, and helping them, covering the production costs, having already gone through the learning curve of creating what that course should look like and how people are going to be able to consume that information well, how to market that course. You're getting kind of the synergy of being part of the group of Building Experts Institute. But I think the other side of the coin is for that consumer, for the person who needs this information to be better at what they do. And I'm sure we've all seen, number of different trainings in this industry and other industries, which are oftentimes personality based. It's all about that person and whether or not they really are the expert at that particular topic or not. They're going to record themselves teaching that topic because they're the person, they're the product. And while we do have some people that are already involved and going to be involved that are pretty big names, this isn't really about the people that are teaching it. It's about getting the right information from the right people who are experts at that specific thing. So I don't want to say, all right, Matt, I know you're an expert at some things. Let's go ahead and have you do a course on this thing that you really don't know about. We'll give you a little tutorial on it and then go ahead and go for it. It just doesn't make sense, and it doesn't serve that end consumer well, because they're not getting the absolute best information. So that's why, Building Experts Institute really was the idea was, let's take people that are experts at very specific things, because you can't be good at everything. Let's bottle up that information. Let's produce it and capture that in a way that is going to be engaging, that is going to be entertaining, that is going to be just nice to listen to and watch. And let's be able to get this in people's hands who need it, who can leverage it. So our first course that is your course, of course.
Let's get into the courses that are there in a little bit. We do have a question from Stephen Harmon. You guys don't know who Stephen Harmon is? Talking about another content creator and educator that is in the industry, a powerhouse in the Xactimate training world. Stephen Harmon is one of the best Xactimate trainers I've ever met. If you haven't been to any of his courses, he's got a lot there. And I guarantee you we're going to be trying to get Stephen Harmon's content in our Building Experts Institute. So what are your fees? I assume that you're asking
for production.
He asked this right after we talked about splitting the profit with the experts that we bring in. So I don't know if you're asking what are the fees for the production side or what are the fees for subscription base. or if you're just asking what the splits are. But if you are interested in being an expert, we'd be happy to share how that program works. In an effort not to put something here that may change very quickly as we finalize this program, I don't think that we should talk numbers on the splits at the moment live.
Yeah.
As far as the production value or the production cost go, we're fronting all of that. There's no fee to you for that. We're getting you involved in this so that we can both benefit from it. But it takes a lot to create all that. And most of the experts that we deal with, they don't want to drop $80,000, $90,000 for 8 hours worth of content just in production. Because to have production value like what we have in here is very costly. So no, we're not charging you for that. And we're going to market the thing, and then we'll sell it, and then the experts get a very hefty portion of this. So I don't want to say what that portion is. If you're interested, if you feel like you have something valuable to bring to the Building Experts Institute, even if you haven't done anything in the past, we have a page for you to fill out and give us some information, and we'll reach out to you. And we will find who it is that we think, with the plan that we have on what needs to be taught soonest, where you fit in and where it will prioritize, and we'll get with you as quickly as we can. He says, I'm looking to eventually do training outside the box. Most don't train. What makes you better than NCI? They approached me and seemed like they wanted to work it out with them. I don't know if I can or should. Really.
So let me take that one. So I don't think it necessarily needs to be a better than. We're a little bit different model in that we're producing this content for an online platform rather than it being a live taught course. So a kind of a different model. There's value obviously in doing either style of training. With some of the topics, it's really helpful to be able to have it in an online resource where you can go back to it and you can reference it as you're dealing with, certain claim situations. You can go back into it. So that's why we opted to kind of focus on the recorded online course style, is just so that you can learn it once initially, but you can have that as a reference material rather than having to go back through maybe incomplete notes that you took or somebody else's slideshow. You've got really, really robust information, and also we can continue to update that too. So the people that are part of that course continue to get that, because in the insurance world, it's a moving target.
I can tell you, Stephen, if you're teaching classes constantly in person, I know how draining that can be and how much effort it is and how costly it can be when you're traveling to the U.S. doing all of these events and trying to make sure that you have enough people in your course to at least make some kind of a profit and not go under at some of these things. So you're saying to work you out of the training. I assume you mean to work you out of the live training. That is something that is very beneficial. So I've been teaching a lot of these classes, and when you teach so many different courses, at NCI, I was teaching every week while also having to run the company and even do janitorial work. I mean, it was a lot. It's a lot of effort. And there's more work to be put into an online course up front than there is to be able to do a live course. A lot more work, but once it's done, then it's just maintenance. And it is a lot of ways to work out of doing the live things, or at least to get out of doing the thing that you're doing now. Yeah, he says it's draining and he's getting old. I'm with you there, buddy. I'm with you. I got some grays in some weird places, man. It's a lot of work. But once it's online, then you can tweak things and you can add in the updates, and it's less work on the back end for a lot of this stuff. So I'm with you. I think that there is definitely a place for someone like you that is trying to limit the amount of live trainings that you might want to do. There's quite a bit that we could do together with that. So thanks for the question. If you guys have any other questions about anything, about the courses that we have, I think we should start talking about that. Tell you what, let me share my screen. Bam.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
And I was going to say, to add to that, I mean, not only are you not traveling and having to put up that effort and that energy every time you teach, but what a lot of my clients, you know, and Matt knows this firsthand as well, is you go from having to focus and put energy on teaching, and then you really just have to focus on maintenance, which is almost like the 4-hour work week idea, if not even a little less, because you're not constantly necessarily updating. But then you can actually focus a lot more on the marketing and selling aspect. And now you have high quality assets from the course. And so most people, when they look at doing a course like this, they're not just thinking, how much time and energy am I saving, and, you know, the headache, but it's like, how much more time can I be making appearances, going on podcast, you know, doing the fun things after you do that upfront work. And like I said, after that too, you have all these assets that you can take from the course. And that's been like a huge driving point for people after they do a class too.
Oh, you're right. Joseph asked what BEI stands for. That is the Building Experts Institute. Building Experts Institute. Now, we kept the name broad because we want to reach outside of claims handling and things within the next year or so as well, and start different schools inside of the Building Experts Institute. So right now we're building up the School of Claims. And then we'll get into some of the other fun things that we have planned, but it is a broad name on purpose. So that is what BEI stands for. Let me show you guys this website though. Matt, you put a lot of effort into this, so I'm going to let you describe what's going on here.
Sure. So, you know, the website, which I'm not typically a web designer, but feel free to check us out, buildingexperts.institute. You can go there, you can chat with us directly. And really, this is the conduit to see the offerings that we have right now. The Defeating Unethical Engineer Tactics is the first course that we've done as part of BEI. Restoration Referral System really is kind of a sister company right now. Will end up becoming part of this umbrella of courses that we have available. And through this, you have the online courses that you can click on that course. You can sign up for it. They kind of have different costs based on what the course is. But we also have, as you're scrolling down there, some other services that are available. And you can click on any of those. If you guys need help on claims from, from Matt Mulholland, or you need help on business development from me, or maybe you have a video project that you want to discuss with John, or some of the other creators that we have coming up here really soon. We have the availability to do some of these things to help you on claims, to help you in your business based on our strengths. And again, the whole point of this is we want our aces in their places, right? We want the people that are best at that specific thing doing that specific thing, rather than trying to be the everything all-in-one utility consultant that ultimately doesn't do a lot of good. All right. Yeah. So yeah, that's the website there. You've got our team here if you want to check us out. And please do check us out on those social medias. Start following that YouTube. We've got a lot of content that's getting ready to come down the pike there. Our Facebook is going to be a great way to get more information on the courses that are coming up, as well as just kind of ask questions and get free information there. LinkedIn, if that's your preferred way to go, or TikTok, if you like more of the fun side of things.
So let's take a look at the first course that we put up then, Defeating Unethical Engineer Tactics. There are engineers in our industry that are sent out by insurance companies that are doing things in such a way that they might not even realize that they are acting unethically. In fact, most of the time they don't even realize it. But the tactics are there. It seems to be a pre-built systemic way of denying claims. You could even call it an engineered claim denial. So if you want to avoid those engineered denials, then you need to understand the tactics that are used and how to avoid them, how to defeat them. This class is, I'm biased this time. I really am. Obviously, I taught the class, and this is something that has been a passion of mine for the last several years, is pointing out the ways that engineers are kind of utilized against us. But this course can teach a contractor, a public adjuster, a forensic engineer, an attorney, what is going on behind the scenes between the engineers that are writing these reports, that are getting these assignments, and what the final result is based on the way that those things are done, so that you can learn a step-by-step process that is put through here on what you need to do to get ready for that appointment, to set it up for success, to avoid the engineered denial. Because if you don't know what those tactics are, then you're going to have some issues. This is for public adjusters, roofing contractors, restoration contractors, plaintiff attorneys, claims consultants, property managers. If you're a forensic engineer and you want to know what's going on, I've got a few forensic engineers going through this course right now. So there are things that they don't even realize they're doing. They've been asked to do it a certain way. It seems reasonable if out of context, but in context, they realize what it is that's happening. And it's rough. It's real rough. So if you guys are meeting with engineers on site, or really any expert at all, or even just adjusters, this class can really help you out, teach you how to think ahead, identify what that denial is going to be in advance, so that you can put together the documentation necessary to avoid that denial, to completely sidestep it, and provide all that information up front, how to work with the engineer to develop the correct assignment so that the engineer can actually write what needs to be written in the report, instead of having to ignore half the stuff. It really makes sense. Working with the adjuster to let them know about the differences in terminology and different things. So this isn't a how to clash against your insurance company. It's literally a class on how to work with them. We've got templates in here, step-by-step strategy guide. We have phone scripts, email templates. We're putting together a bunch of information about all the individual different states right now. So there's quite a bit that's in here, and it's not done. This is a live course. Not live as in you watch it live. It's alive as in it will continually be updated. I can tell you this, I've already had to change some of the wordings that are used in some of the templates, because some of the engineering firms that are out there have already kind of adapted a little bit to some of the trainings that I've been doing on this very topic. So we need to stay ahead of it. It is always being adapted. And I think that this is one of those great classes. Matt, tell them about the Founders Special.
I will. Let me touch on this one point first, though. One of the ways I was explaining this to someone the other day is that insurance carriers employ engineers, and they do so in a really clever way that almost lets both of them keep their hands clean, right? Where they know they're very intentional about what they're doing. That it's very calculated in its design, so that it results in them not paying claims out, and them being able to point at the engineer, and the engineer being able to point at the carrier, without a clear path for that public adjuster or attorney or contractor to say, no, this is why this needs to get paid for. And this really just, I think most of those contractors, and even a lot of public adjusters, are oftentimes working with adjusters rather than engineers, which is a little bit simpler situation. And they're just getting their lunch eaten when the carrier pulls this out. And so this really opened my eyes. And I know, talking to some other public adjusters that have gone through the course already, really equipped them to better advocate for their clients. But going to the sign up for this. So right now, if you're watching this live or you're watching this in the recording here before the end of April, this Founders Special is a deal that we put together. So essentially, you've got three different options right now. Well, right now you've got one option because it's better than any of the other options. But right, in the future, you're going to have two options. You can either subscribe to this course for $19.97 a year. If you think, hey, I just want to use this for 1 year, I'll probably just do that. Then that's totally fine. If you decide you want to keep it year in, year out, because it's a really powerful asset for you, you'll continue to pay that $19.97. If you say, you know what, I want to have this now and I want to have it in the future, you can pay the $24.97, and that gives you lifetime access to this course, including the ongoing updates that happen with it. What we're doing right now for the month of April, so you've got another 9 days, is you're getting that lifetime access for the normal subscription price. So for that $19.97, you and it's important to mention here, this access is per company. So if
Not
you're
per person.
a company of 10 people, 20 people, 50 people, you guys are getting access. You're not breaking any rules to share that access within your company, so that everyone who's involved with these engineers on claims is going to get trained up and be able to handle them competently.
Yeah, and if you have taken any of my live courses on dealing with engineers, avoiding engineers denial, any of those live already, reach out to me. I do have a special deal just for you guys that have already taken this class. But for any of those that haven't yet and been thinking about it, if you jump on this before April 30th, as Matt was saying, then you get the founder special. The founder special helps us out. The reason we're even doing a discount, because we really shouldn't. We're talking about per team pricing here, but we're doing discounts because we're a new company. And we definitely need the capital to be able to bring in the experts to be able to actually produce some additional content to put on here. So you'd be helping us out at the same time. So we're helping you guys out. Become one of our founding members, basically. Gain lifetime access for the price of a 1-year subscription. And this will continue to be updated throughout all of that time. I do have a lot of planned additions that are adding to this, where it's not just engineers. It's avoiding unethical meteorologists. Tactics. There's some of those too. Unethical industrial hygienists. We're going to get into a lot of the different experts, and the name of this course may end up changing to Defeating Unethical Expert Tactics along the way. But this is where this course is going. There's no reason to have multiple courses on any expert type deals. So we will have this stuff there. So I'm very excited about what it is that we have here and the additional information that we're putting in. A few people that have been through the class. You guys know who John Senak is? He goes on tour with GAF, or I think he's on tour with GAF right now, but he also does his own courses through John the Roof Pro. He's got a master class 2.0 going on. He does a discontinued shingle master class, and he's one of the owners of the NTSID, which is a competitor to iTech, where you can get shingle supply. So this guy knows what he's doing. When he went to the class, he says this class has so much information, it will actually change how you inspect, talk to adjusters, and additionally prepare if they activate an engineer. You guys know John doesn't give things like that lightly. I know that he has adapted a lot of his courses that he teaches, especially the documentation class that he's doing right now. A lot of that came from things that he learned in this course. He's giving a boiled down version of some of that in his documentation class, but without some of the specifics and some of the content behind it. John will take something that I teach, and he's done this so many times in so many different courses. He'll take something I teach and make it so much better, and then I learn back from him on all the additional things that he teaches. If you guys can ever take a class from John Senak, I absolutely highly recommend it. That guy's shit is on point. He knows his stuff. So, and he does tend to promote the stuff that I do as well, which always makes it nice. I've had John on my show several times. I've been on his podcast or his live events, and we've done a few things together live. And John has agreed to put some of the content that he has on the Building Experts Institute. In fact, we'll have him involved in the next course that we have put on, which is on repairability of asphalt shingles. We needed a contractor, and he kind of looks like a contractor, I guess. He knows how to roof. So Wesley Barber is a PA that I'm familiar with. He says he's been in the insurance industry for 30 years. There's only been a handful of people that have impressed me with their knowledge and professionalism. One of them is Matt Mulholland. I've taken his engineer class, and it is top tier. Matt walks you through his thought process to get to a point. He acknowledges what opposing folks may say so you can be prepared, which is super important. I wish I had billions of dollars because I would send all policyholder advocates to Matt's class on my dime. Dead serious. So after he wrote that to me, I immediately asked him, how many can you send? I don't think he's serious about paying for the class for you guys. I hope not, because that could get expensive. But Wesley Barber is very good public adjuster out of North Carolina. If you guys do any work in North Carolina, he is a PA that I recommend very highly for North Carolina claims, especially that are, I don't know of any limitations of his for public adjusting. Chris Zimmerman, this is a contractor. We now are well equipped to handle our customers when dealing with a denial based on an engineer's report. My company found immense value in the training provided, and I would and often do recommend any contractor that deals with insurance claims take the course. So Chris went through one of the live trainings a long time ago, and ever since then, he has been kicking ass. And I just broke the seal on cursing. Apparently we're cursing in this video now, guys.
No, you already broke the
There it
seal.
is.
I don't think you heard it.
I tried. Yeah. It's just not my nature, I guess.
It was so natural for you. Yeah.
It's so natural, right? So anyway, there is a live course demo on this page that you can go through and get a feel for what it looks like on the inside. But there are pages and pages and pages of content in here and a lot of resources. We even have a resource page that has research documents that help you. So when an engineer says, this isn't hail damage or this isn't functional damage, I have research papers that show that it is from actual scientists, actual data and peer-reviewed stuff. I've got expert documents on wind damage to low slope materials and different things. So there's a lot of resources that are there. Most of them I've got highlighted and commented on, so you can download them with my commentary on it so you know what to do with it. It's a lot here. I think it's worthwhile. What's really crazy is that this sounds like it might be a high price to some of you, but you could win one claim, and you will because of it, and pay for this plus some. And this is the price for the entire team. Everyone inside your company, one price, not individually. So if you guys have any questions, reach out.
It's one of the most, I've done a lot of these kind of classes. It's kind of what I do for entertainment. And I've produced, a handful of this kind of stuff. And this is one of the most detailed resource, heavy courses I've ever seen or produced. So I was actually really impressed with how thorough, when I thought we were done and you could give no more resources, you were like, hey, there's actually this other section I'm going to add. So
yeah, I think I drove you a little bit nuts because you were already buried in all of it. And I'm like, I need like 15 more graphics suddenly. Oh, by the way, that's going to require actually 50 more.
Yeah, no, it's good though. But yeah, kudos to you for being so detailed with this.
I definitely don't half-ass my job, and this is my job at this point. So there's going to be a lot that's going to be added. There's already plans for adding a lot more, and I'm already researching into the meteorologist portion of this to add that in because I think that might be just as bad. So part of this course is teaching you to ask for a meteorologist. So if you're going to do that, you better be ready with what might come from that side of it. So I am trying to figure out if we are going to be pushing for certain things, we need to make sure that even those are prepared in advance, like we do for the engineers, to make sure that they say the right things and they don't pull from bullshit.
Right.
We don't want to deal with it. No one wants to deal with the bullshit. So this class is worthwhile. I'm biased as hell, but it's worth it. We do have some in-person courses that are available through BEI right now that BEI is presenting. We're going to have a lot more of those posted with an events page very soon. We wanted to make sure that everything was working 100% of defeating the unethical engineer tactics page and the restoration referral page before we really dug into some of the other auxiliary stuff that's going on. But expect some more coming very soon. And then our very next class is repairability assessment of composition shingles, taught by Chad T. Williams. You guys don't know who that is? This is the guy that wrote the paper that was published by the National Academy of Forensic Engineers on assessing the repairability of asphalt shingles. If you guys don't know about that paper, it is one of the resources in the class. You can get it from there, but you can probably find it online. It's been shared quite a bit. It is the paper that I based a lot of my simulator repair techniques on. It's the paper that John Senek bases his repairability assessment on. It is the process that we utilize in order to prove that a roof is or isn't repairable, and it's very detailed. And this is the guy that wrote it. I've been working with him hand in hand for a little while now, and he knows his shit. It's amazing. And this is a class that is perfect for anyone that deals with asphalt shingles and you're getting denied immediately, where they're saying, well, we can repair it. And then you give them all the evidence under the sun and they still say we can repair it. We're going to give you a lot more ammunition to provide to them with this class. The very next one that's coming up, we're still getting a lot of the details worked out on how that's going to go down. But we're expecting to see this in the next couple of months as an available course. I'm really looking forward to that one. And Chad, I know he's looking forward to it. So as long as you guys can stop sending him work for a little while, then he can help us get this in from me. Well, you guys have anything to add?
Can we share the number one rule?
I think we should. We don't have a video on that, do we?
Not yet.
On which?
Yeah, so
The number one rule.
number one rule in the Defeating Unethical Engineer Tactics course is don't be a dick. Don't be a dick.
Good
So
rule
number
for
one
life
rule,
in general.
when you're dealing with human beings, if you're a dick, it's not going to go well for you.
Yeah.
Because it makes people defensive immediately. So you want to work with them, not against them. If you can get them on your side, or at least understand your thing, and you can understand theirs, I think that you can work well together. So a lot of that course is training you on how to work with these other individuals. They want to. Some of them are just as tired of the BS as you are, and if you can help them get things past their management, they would be very, very happy about it. So
Yeah. And I think we have one other offer, right, for insurance carriers,
oh yeah.
in case we have anybody
Might wanna
watching.
share that in case there's any insurance carriers watching this.
This is a
If
very
you are-
real offer.
Unless it's live, that's hooked up to Stripe.
Yeah.
That's,
All right, so if you're a carrier, this is your page. Stop policyholder advocates from learning the skills and strategies to defeat unethical engineer denial tactics. Because let's face it, your strategy of employing engineers has been effective at unfairly denying valid claims for decades. It saved insurance companies like you billions in claim payouts. So now that we got the class, is the party over? It's just $1 million a month, guys. If you want to keep this off the internet, $1 million a month. That's all. I think that's a steal.
Yeah, and we'll take it down. We'll refund the people, right?
yeah, if you've bought this course and then the carriers want to buy this for $1 million a month, we will need to refund you. But any information you've got in your head, you can keep.
Right. And then if they stop paying whatever month, it'll be back up. So
Yeah, they should probably actually jump on this pretty quickly. Sales have started to ramp up for this, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of, especially a lot of public adjusters have been doing this already, but as well as some contractors that are really, I would say more the savvy contractors that are really good at advocating for their clients, is what I've been seeing.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to happen, but it's funny. It's there.
Agreed.
Right. So if you guys are out there going, oh God, there are a bunch of sellouts, I don't know if I want to go to this. It's a joke.
Yeah. And I do actually think that having this information out there is going to move the needle, and insurance carriers are going to end up paying billions of dollars more in claims that should have been paid anyway, but they're not going to be successful at at employing this strategy.
It's true. So anyway, if you guys are interested in anything that has to do with the Building Experts Institute, if you feel like you are an expert and would like to bring some things that you've been wanting to train out there and get it out, we can help you publish it. If you are interested in some of the courses that we have, please reach out to us. Go to the website, buildingexperts.institute, and we'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. Go through anything that you want. We'll probably put a Calendly link up on the screen at some point or up on the website so that you can schedule a time to actually go through a lot of that stuff with us, and we'll be available for you. So thanks for hanging out with us. But I think that unless there's any fast questions around here, was there any that I missed?
I think we're good.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks a lot for watching, guys. And hopefully we'll hear from you soon. Take care.
Take care.